Churches Conservation Trust is the national body that looks after redundant churches that are no longer needed by the Church of England, but which, because of their historical or architectural importance, are preserved for the nation. These restored churches benefit local communities because they're very much still at the heart of the local area. You know, even if the church isn't used for religious purposes, it can be used for community events, concerts, exhibitions, and it means that people still relate to them as they have for many hundreds of years. Churches come into our care for a variety of reasons. Sometimes it's their setting, it could be their architecture, their furnishings, some association they have. And not far from here is the Church of St Thomas a Becket at Capel, which came into our care because of its fantastic wall paintings dating from the 13th century. They really cover the whole of the north wall, and there are scenes of the life of Christ, famous Bible scenes that most people with a little bit of detective work should still be able to recognise. Our organisation is called the Churches Conservation Trust, not Restoration Trust, and this is an example of what we do. This is a nice 19th century carved head, but its twin on the other side of the door has eroded away, and so instead of replacing it, we've put a square block just to show there was once something there, but we're not trying to copy it. This is conservation, preserving buildings in the best, most sensitive way we can for future generations. These churches represent local history through their stones and memorials. They're a witness to the people who designed them, who built them, and who changed them, because of course buildings have to change to reflect the requirements of each generation. So these buildings just haven't stopped still. They've continued to change over the centuries of use, and really we can pick out the clues in the building to show how people used them in the past, and I hope that people in the future will be able to look at our period and determine what we've done to them. One of the ways this church shows us about people in the past is this monument to a man called Roger Twisden, who was a great royalist at the outbreak of the English Civil War, lived at a house about 500 yards from this church, and who kept a diary of what was going on in Kent in the years leading up to the English Civil War. Local communities get involved in these churches by approaching us, or sometimes we set up a friends group and we ask them what they would like to do. You know, there may be musicians or artists who want to use the buildings, and so it's appropriate to each individual church. Local communities can find out about our work primarily by visiting our website, which is visitchurches.org.uk. Whenever you visit a trust church, you'll find a leaflet there which highlights all the other churches in the locality. So we hope that people, once they've visited one church, will be inspired to go on and visit some others. And in Kent, they're all open every day, so there's no problem in getting in. People are there to welcome you and to make the most of your visit.